everyone, Amanda here from Create with Scrimping Mommy. Thank you so much for joining me. So in this video, in the first part of the video, I'm going to explain what these images are for, and it's for a challenge over in my Facebook group. Then in the second half of the video, you're going to see me using these images to give you inspiration and ideas of what to do with them. And these have been created for a very basic mixed media challenge. The link to my Facebook is in the description box below. Just answer the 3 questions and you will be, admitted into the group. And you can download these free. And every week when I do one, you'll get a few pages to make something. Now, I've sized mine purposely to go in this book. I'm going to be using this, and it's an 8x8 watercolour paper book, but you can use absolutely anything. But watercolour paper is brilliant for mixed media because it will, it holds water and etc, but you can absolutely use anything. So I will be giving some very basic inspiration on how I do my layout. You can totally copy it or you can do your own thing. So these are the 3 pages. Like I say, I've kept them really basic. Butterflies. Who doesn't like butterflies? We've got a lovely frame here. So if you cut the middle out and release these are sentiments that you can use. And I've given you a few, okay? But at the same time, I've kept the images quite limited, and that's on purpose so that you don't get overwhelmed. You've kind of got to use these. But how you put them together is up to you, whether you follow my lead or whether you do your own thing. But by limiting our supplies and limiting what we've got, it kind of like cancels out the overthinking, okay? So we've got butterflies, we've got some florals. I've given you some background pages. So if you don't like using mixed media, okay, you can do a glue book page and you can make something, or any kind of art journal page, all right? Or use them however you like. So here we've got a vintage invoice, so you can rip it up and collage with it, or you can use specific parts of it, like the date there. What date are we? I don't know. Doesn't give the year, just, yes it does, 1894. Or you could cut this bit out, or this emblem out, whatever you like. And then here we've just got a shrunk down. This is a collage that I put in one of my collections a long time ago, and it's vintage florals and herbs, okay? And then we've got this one with a busy coloured background for a little pop of colour. And then we've got this with the numbers. So again, you can rip it up, use it as is, or you can cut them out and use it, and tuck things in or whatever. And they're all in different kind of fonts, so it's quite interesting. All right, so those are the ones for this week. I released it in my group on Friday. I'm not sure what day this video will go out because I've been busy. So now I'm gonna cut out all of my images, and I'm gonna start and create a page in my new art journal. So I hope you'll follow along. I may well speed it up to save time and so that I'm not waffling so much, but hopefully you can get some ideas and inspiration, and you'll come and join us on this mixed media challenge with the free images. And it's just all about having fun. There's no right or wrong, remember that, okay? I just want to try and promote doing a little bit of art every single day because it's really good for you. So let's get cracking. Okay, off we go. So I'm keeping it really simple this week. In the first instance, my camera's going to look like it's going out of focus. I do realise this, and I will adjust it so the whole video isn't like this, so just bear with me. So I decided to do a very basic collage background. I thought it would be easier for anybody that's not done a mixed media type layout before to just do a collage background rather than start doing modelling paste and watercolours and I thought we'd do some very easy sticking and gluing, but it is still mixed media. All mixed media means is you're using different things. Paper's a medium, glue's a medium, paint's a medium. So if you're using a couple of different things, you're mixing the medias, it's mixed media. So don't feel like, we watch things on Instagram and YouTube with fantastic artists. Don't feel like you can't do it, because you absolutely can with very little supplies. So I'm gluing my collage pieces down with just a glue stick. I would prefer to use a gel matte medium, but I thought I'd use a glue stick just to show you that you don't have to have expensive art supplies to be able to do this. Just use a glue stick, okay? So I'm just framing that page with some colour. I'm not going all the way around because I don't want it to make the page look kind of shrunk in. And then I'm adding my frame. Now I have inked that frame, there you go, with archival ink. Now it's important that if you want to ink any of your images that you use a permanent ink, a permanent watercolour ink like archival. Don't be using your Tim Holtz distress inks, they will react with water. So if you put any further layers on top of something that you've used distress inks on, that distress ink is going to continue to react and it will run. So we're using a permanent waterproof ink. Another thing that I'll do quite often is I will interview things. What I mean by that is I'll often rip bits out and I'm not always sure if I want them on there. So I'll interview them. I'll sit them on the page and I'll see if I like them, see if they fit with my vibe and what I want to do. And sometimes they just don't work. But I will sit them to one side and I'll have a think and leave them sat about whilst I get on with things that I know I definitely want to do. And I know I definitely want to add these butterflies. I knew I wanted to use them when I was designing the images. And I knew I wanted them stacked. And this gives you a very easy, immediate focal point. It's another reason I use them, because it's super easy. It doesn't matter what else you do. If you stack those 3 butterflies one on top of the other, your page is going to look great. Okay, that's your focal point. That's just where you build your images around. So then I'm just adding some stamping. That's another medium, stamping. So we're adding layers of different things and different elements. Just a little bit of stamping. I'm not going mad. I think this one was a freebie in a magazine, and it's just a little script stamp. But again, I'm using that permanent ink because I'm going to seal over the top of here now with a matte medium. Okay, so I'll show you there. It's a Winsor & Newton matte medium, and what that's going to do is that is going to seal all of that page. It's going to protect the images. It's going to make sure they're all glued down properly. Okay, so none of them peel up. And it's going to protect them. I've only used 120 GSM copier paper here. Not using fancy stuff. It's not a fancy collage book. It's just printer paper. So by adding the matte medium over the top, we're sealing that paper. It'll make sure the images stay vibrant. The colours don't, go muddy when you're adding extra things on. For example, if you want to add gesso on, or watercolour on the top, or modelling paste if you want to stencil on it, it's not going to interfere with your images. They're still going to stay vibrant, and it's going to protect them. And the other good thing about a matte medium, sealing over the top with matte medium, is if you do add extra things on top of that once you've sealed it and decide you don't like it, if you catch it before it dries, you can wipe it off. So if you add acrylic paint or gesso or modelling paste over the top of that and you decide you don't like it, you've got chance to wipe it off without your image being ruined, without your page being ruined and having to start again. So it's well worth investing in. That is one item that's worth investing in. Okay, so what I'm doing here now is I'm using my Inktense pencils. Now these are expensive, but I got mine second hand. And they work a little bit like watercolours, but they are actually ink. And I'm adding a watercolour effect onto these flowers. And also it's adding a bit more vibrancy of colour to them as well. So I'm just lifting the colour. I'm adding a bit of depth and a bit of shade to make those flowers stand out a little bit more than they do. I absolutely love the Inktense pencils. Really, really love them. They are not cheap, but they'll last you forever in 10 days. And then important to dry. Once that's dry, it won't react again with water. So if I decided I was going to put another colour over the top, it wouldn't blend with the colour that's underneath, and I can just keep going. So here I'm just outlining with an outline pencil the butterflies to give them just a little bit of, just to make them lift off the page just a little bit. does react with water, but I've done it very, very subtly, and I'm using a very skinny brush. So just outlining them, just to make them just stand out just a little bit on that flat background. Super simple. You could even do that with a pencil. You don't need a fancy outlining pencil, just a normal pencil would do the same thing, okay? And you wouldn't have to add water to it. So here I'm just adding some gesso, giving myself a bit of a border so that it doesn't just look like harsh edges. I'm just smoothing it with my fingers and enjoying just getting messy with that paint. Really fun. Then I'm going to add some stickles. I love a bit of glitter. I can't help it. So I'm adding a little bit to the wings of the butterflies. It will catch the light and just reflect those colours underneath as well. And then I'm going to add some to the centre of the flowers, and that's my page done. So I hope you've been able to get some inspiration. I hope you feel confident enough to give it a go. You won't know until you try. Go and have some fun.